Heyo everybody, Haku here with some new Pokemon Sun and Moon Gen 7 information. Now, I came to you, and that's why Mimikyu was up here. I came to you maybe a couple days to a week almost ago with some information on two new leaked Pokemon, and then a few days back a new trailer came out talking about 6 new Pokemon. We got a lot of information on them, and 2 of those 6 were the 2 leaked Pokemon, but now we know their information in English and we know a lot more about them, so I'm going to talk about them here. Starting off with Mimikyu. So we find out it's keeping the name Mimikyu for English, and that it's still, of course it's still Ghost Fairy, but yeah, so it's keeping the name, it's Ghost Fairy if you didn't see the other video, and its ability is a new ability called Disguise, and what Disguise does is it actually allows it to take a hit and not take any damage. And it can only do it once, and like the head on top of it like sort of deflates after it takes the first hit. So that's a really cool and useful ability, combined with the really OP type combo. And like what I said before, if you didn't see the video, of course, I really like the design. I think Mimikyu is pretty adorable. Next up we have the other Pokemon from the leaks, and of course this is the normal fighting type Kiteru Guma, but we find out that their English name is Beware. And honestly, a lot of people are hating on Beware, but I kind of like the design. I think it's cute, and I think it's funny how it's like massive and super strong even though it looks so doofy and cute. So I don't know, I like the concept. And it can have the Klutz ability, but it also has a new ability called Fluffy, and Fluffy makes it so that it takes half damage from attacks that make contact, but it also takes double damage from fire attacks. Now, I think this is an incredibly useful ability because so many attacks are physical, like attacks that make contact with the enemy. And there are a lot more of those to take half damage from than there are fire attacks to take double damage from. So I think it's a really good ability, and I honestly like the design, and the name Beware, I really don't mind it at all. I don't think it's a terrible name or anything. Next up is Wimpod, and Wimpod I'm really loving already. I think the design looks really cool, and mostly because it has potential. It's a bug water type, and it has potential to have a really cool bug water type evolution, like something not quite like Anorith, or not what's the one Anorith evolves into, Armaldo or something like that. So not quite like Armaldo or quite like Kabutops, but maybe something sort of similar to either of those, but bug water would be really cool, and I think it's a really cool type combo. And the thing is, like, I loved Surskit in Gen 3, and I was really upset that Surskit didn't keep the bug water type combo when it evolved to Masquerain. I believe it became bug flying, and there are already a ton of bug flyings. So I don't know, I think this has a really good chance to keep strong where Surskit messed up and have a really cool bug water Pokemon that it evolves into. Now, like, it has a really cool new ability too, because I think this ability can be used like in a good way for the game designers. Its ability is Wimp Out, which makes it flee or switch places in battle whenever it reaches below 50%. So I think that makes it really useful because it's going to make it more difficult to catch, and if it's more difficult to catch, maybe it's more likely to have a good or strong evolution, and I am just very hopeful. I am just really hoping it has a really cool evolution. Next up is Bounsweet, who is sort of seems to me like an Alola region version of the Hoppip line, but either way, I think it's really cute, and if it is related to the Hoppip line in some way, like maybe it's some alternate form from a different region, and we find out about Pokemon like evolving differently and becoming different Pokemon in different regions, but they're still like kind of related, If it's like that, that'd be cool. Or if it is a pre-evolution to Cherubi, I think that would be awesome as well, because it does look like it could be a baby Pokemon and evolve into Cherubi. That'd be awesome, because we haven't really had like pre or post evolutions added in a while, and I'd like to see some, honestly. I really don't like the concept of mega evolution. Like, that's one thing I never liked about Gen 6. If they would have added extra evolutions for Pokemon, that would have been awesome, but I've just never liked the concept of mega evolution, so I'm going to absolutely love Bounsweet. And it's a pure grass type, I think I forgot to say that. But I'm going to absolutely love it if it's related to another Pokemon, or maybe if it has its own good evolution. But if not, it does feel sort of like one of those that you can just sort of forget about because it's not really very important or useful or anything. So it's not like the cutest thing ever to make up for it not being very exciting if it's not related to anything good. Next up is Comfey, or Comfey. I think it'll probably end up being pronounced Comfey because it's a fairy, and like Fey is also something used for fairies. So I feel like it'll be pronounced Comfey. It's a pure fairy type, and yeah, there's really nothing else to say about it. It doesn't have anything else really special about it. I personally really like its design and its concept, so yeah, I really like it. I think it has a shitty name, but a cool concept and design. Next up is the ground-type horse, Mossdale. And Mossdale looks really, really badass. I really like the design. The name's pretty cool, too. And for this one, I'm actually hoping, like, really, really hoping that it has a pre-evolution. Because I would love if it's, like, a ground version of Ponyta and Rapidash, or Blitzel and Zebstrika. I'd love if it has a pre-evolution and it is the second stage, but I could also see it being just a one-stage Pokemon. It looks like it probably doesn't evolve into anything. So yeah, it's cool, and I do hope it has something a little bit smaller that evolves into it. And yeah, other than that, it has a new ability, secondary ability, I think, called Stamina, and Stamina is pretty damn useful because it makes its defense raise by one stage every time it is hit by an attack. So that is a pretty damn good ability as well. And yeah, so that's it for this, isn't it? Yeah, that's all 6. So thank you for watching. I'll leave them up here while I say like if you did like the video. And comment down there. Tell me what you think of these 6 Pokemon, and what you thought of my thoughts on them and anything. Subscribe for more Pokemon news updates, the Black 2 Nuzlocke, which is still going to be going on, of course, and a bunch of other stuff. Just check out the channel, subscribe if you want, and follow on Twitter if you want as well. Try to keep you updated there on stuff with the channel. And that's it. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.